Hello there. Today I thought I'd do a little sew along of this very cute little low sew frog. I say low sew because he has no sewing for his body, but the eyes and the mouth just need sewing. So he's very quick, a very fun pattern to do, great for kids because there's no safety eyes involved. And be warned, once you start making them, they will multiply and multiply and multiply and multiply and multiply. So you've just got so many, and I've even given some away, so this isn't even all the ones I've made. They're very addictive to make. They're a low sew pattern. You only have to stitch on the face, the little eyes and the little mouth, and all the arms and legs are made as you go. So it works out really quick, especially when you use a chunky yarn, and you stuff him and then you stitch him up and he's all good to go. So let's go. So to start, we're going to get our yarn and we're going to make a slip knot, just like so. Insert the needle, pull it a bit tight, and then we're going to get ready. So we want to do, for the first round we're doing 11 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's our first round. So now for the second chain from the hook, so 1, 2, we are going to single crochet. That's 1, and then we're going to insert our hook in there. So that's our first stitch for this next round. So that counts as 1, so we need to do 9 more. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 into the last one. Cool. So now we have our row of 10. Now we're going to turn it and we're going to do 9. Now we don't want to go, and it's a bit hard with this yarn to see, but we don't want to go into the first stitch because we've already gone in there. So we need to do 9 up until there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Pretty sure that's the first stitch. So it's obviously, this yarn is quite hard to work with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's our little top of our frog. So so we'll finish this round now, and we should have 19 stitches going around, with this marking our first stitch. So for the next round, we're going to take this one out, and we're going to start with a double decrease. So that's yarning over, going into that first one, pulling up a loop, yarning over, pulling through 2 loops. You've still got 2 on the hook, yarning over, finding the next stitch, doing a decrease, pulling through 2, and then pulling through all 3. So that is the first stitch for this round. Whoops. In there. Cool. Lovely, lovely. So we see so we've decreased. And then we are going to do 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, a little bit more yarn out. 7 and 8. Okay, so now we're going to do another double decrease. So yarning over, going through the hook, coming back out, yarning over, pull through 2 loops with 2 loops still on the thing, on the hook, yarning over, finding the next stitch, which is this one, pulling through, yarning over, pulling through 2, so you've got 3 on the hook, and then yarning over, pulling through all. Cool. So, and now we sing a 7 single crochets should take us back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. And then we're back to the first stitch. So that is the end of round 3. So now we should have 17 stitches because we did those 2 decreases for that round. So now it's a matter of single crocheting around 17. So we'll put our stitch in there, that's 1, and we'll put our stitch marker back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoops. Did I grab both things? I hate it when this happens sometimes. You can't get both. There we go. That was 7, right? I think it was 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Was that 8? Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I lost track. 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Cool. So we're basically just going to do several more rounds of just single crochet until we get to the arms of the frog. 17, and we'll go around again. But actually we're getting a bit thicker now, so what we can do is we can actually pop him out. Right way up. Cool, 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 cool. 4 rows of single crochet. Now if we look at that, we've got the 1 connecting row, then we've got row 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is where we start the arms. Okay, let's give ourselves a little bit. Oh, it's going to run away. Can I pull it back? I fear we're going to get one pink arm and one white arm, but oh well, it's going to add to his character. Okay. So we're going to do we're going to do 3 single crochets first. That's 1, 2, 3. 3 single crochets. Then we're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now we've got chain 10. That's his arm, so now we're going to do his hand. So we're going to go back 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch. Now we're going to chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and then go back to the stitch where we slip stitched into before and slip stitch again. So we're doing his little hands now, and then we wanted to have 3, so we're going to chain 3 again, 2, 3, and then we're going to slip stitch into that same stitch that we stitched into before. So now we've kind of got a clover leaf kind of 3 wing pattern. And now we're going to single crochet back along the arm to get back to the body. So, and then for that we're going to need 7 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then there should be 1 more, 7. He's a bit tight. Where is he? He's right there. There we go. And now we are going to slip stitch back into the third single crochet that we did before. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So where the stitch is coming in, we're going to slip stitch into that stitch. Now we're back attached to the body with an arm. So now we can continue over to the other side, and we're going to single crochet 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that was 6. 6, yeah. 7 and 8. Cool. So now that we've done 8, time to do the arm again. So it's basically the same as before. Do we have enough yarn pulled out so I don't lose track of counting? Cool. Okay, so we want to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we're going to go 3 back from the hook. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to slip stitch into there to make the first finger. as part of the hand. Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into that same spot, and chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch into that same spot again. So that's how we've got another hand. And now we single crochet back up the arm, and that's going to be 7 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it's a slip stitch back into the stitch that the arm came out of. Cool. Now it should be 6 stitches until we reach our stitch marker for the end of this round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. So now we've got our 2 arms and our top half of the head, and now it's time to do the body. So that should be a completed round 8. So we've got the starting chain is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. So now we're up to 8 rounds. So now it's round 9. So 3 single crochets, 1, stitch marker back in, 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to slip stitch into the slip stitch that we made, which can be a bit hairy to find, but it's just so the arm kind of tucks in a little bit more. So if you need to figure out where you've got to go, we're going to be doing, it's 8 single crochets across, so we can find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is that? That's the single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the stitch that we slip stitch into. Because currently we were going off 17 stitches, but we'll actually increase this round to 19 because we'll add an extra stitch under the armpit. So we'll just do a slip stitch in there, and then we can do our 8 crochets, 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we'll flip them around and we'll... So again, we've got 6 single crochets to do on the body. So we can count back from where the stitch marker is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's this stitch here that will get the slip stitch. And then we can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's a knot. Do we like that? Oh, you can't really tell, can you? That's annoying. That's really annoying. I can feel it. I don't like that. That could come undone. I know they do them tightly. Oh, that's so annoying. Or is that pretty? It's pretty tied tightly. I'm going to do my own, actually. So I've gone undone until this is the slip stitch that I did. Do I do my own or do I just leave it in there? I never know. I hate when these. Well, I hate when they mass produce these balls, and now it's going to come undone pretty easily. Okay, we're going to do a little join in the middle then, apparently. Trim and trim. Okay. I'm going to lose it pretty quickly because it's a pretty short tail. And I'll knot it up on the inside where you can't see it. And then I'll know it's like behind. I mean, I could carry it through, but why I don't want to carry it through is because this is such chunky yarn. It's going to change the sizing of the stitches. So if I knot it in the back, it'll be inside and it'll be secure. But I can change without it there being like some kind of bump there. So that was one single crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's the end of that round. Now inside here I've got these 2 tails, which I'm just going to knot together. Obviously you couldn't do this if you were doing something that was reversible, but because it's got an inside that I can hide, I'll just knot it up several times. And honestly, and once there's fluff in here, like that's like knotted up loads and you're not going to be able to tell on the outside that there's a, I mean, is this excessive? Yes. Is that not ever coming undone? No, it's not. Am I safe in knowing that it will never come undone? Yeah, I am. So I can move on and be fine. And it's better than having a knot, a factory knot. Way better. Cool, okay. So that's the end of row 9. We have our arms. We've just done our underneath of the arms. So now we need 2 whole rows of just single crochets. And now our stitch count should be 19. So 1, 2, 3, into that armpit stitch that we did. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Cool. So we'll check what row we're on. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we need to do row 11 as also just single crochets around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rows. We are very close to adding the legs. For round 12, we want to start with a single crochet, and we're going to single crochet 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now this is an example of me not counting. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I overshot my leg. So I'm just going to undo my leg. Frog it, if you will. Back to there, and then I'm going to do my leg. So we are chaining 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Count back 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into that same hole, pull through, and then chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and then into that same hole, and slip stitch, just like that. Pull it a little tight. If it's a little hole there, it doesn't really matter. And then we chain back down. We single crochet back down the chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we slip stitch into the stitch there that we came out of, and that one there. Slip stitch in there, and then we single crochet 6 back to the stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Lovely. So this next round will be the last round that we do. And put 1 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets from the stitch marker. And now we're going to do the other leg. So we're going to chain 12. 1, 2, that doesn't knot up on me. We're up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Count back 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch through there. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then slip stitch into the same spot. Chain 3. Slip stitch into the same spot. And now we just single crochet back down the leg. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then it's a slip stitch into this stitch here to connect the leg. And now we have a hollow little frog. So now we want to add stuffing. So that's, and then we will seal him up. We can take out the stitch marker because we won't need that anymore. And you can use any fluff. I have some fluff I have from earlier, so you can see it's his little knot in there, and that's his little tail from his so in there they're nice and sealed. And then you're going to actually take your fluff and just don't have to overfill them. And that's probably too much fluff, but we'll see. Give him a good bit of squishiness. Fill out his eyes. So basically we want to be able to stitch him up down here, but not have him to be overfull. So I actually think that that's probably quite a good amount of fullness. Not too full, so we can't get him together again, but full enough that he's got a bit of padding to him. So now it's just a matter of slip stitching this seam closed. Just to figure out where, so it's 9 stitches that we need. So I think that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Is that right? So it'll be in there and in there, I think. You just go through the back and the front, yarn over and pull through both, and then pull through that as well, go under, pull through everything, yarn under, here we go, pull through everything, and just slip stitch along the seam line. And the last one is this one at the end here. Then we can pull through that hook that's there, go with a bit of tail, snip that off, pull this through, and then we have a nice little knot, and then we're done. Get his mushes padding around a bit. Yeah, and we have a nice little leggy froggy. And we can take this tail, and just to make it a little bit more secure, we can weave it into the seam a little bit, or just this general, weave it back along here. Not too tightly, you're not going to pull this tight. It's just so that it kind of gives it a bit more security. And then what you can do is you can just, oops, not stuff them outside. Stuff the extra tail in. I'm sure there's better ways of doing this, but you can just kind of pick the tail up and I just squish it in, because it's better at it being in there than hanging outside. And I don't like to cut my tails. I like to leave quite a long tail, so at least if it's inside, then it's less likely to unravel. So, and there you have it, little frog. And the next would be the little face. So now with the body done, all we have to do is sew in the eyes, which is basically a step of just finding where you want the eyes to go. And in my case, it was like kind of in the corners by the frog, and just stitching over and over again until you've got to make quite a few stitches to get the round shape, because otherwise it's quite like vertical. But if you just keep going round and round, the stitching kind of bobbles up and becomes this kind of round shape if you kind of squish it into place, which is really, really cool. And now we can add a smile. So I've just gone a couple of stitches in from the eye and then done a diagonal down, and then done one straight across, and then I'll do one diagonal up again. You can do whatever kind of design for mouth you want. I seem to do it different every single time I do it. It's just what I feel like. I haven't quite found the right design yet, but if they've all got different smiles, it kind of gives them all a different character, which is kind of cool. And now we're going to send the thread back out the back of the head to tie a knot, and then push it back into the body. And then we have it, the little frog is complete with his little round eyes, happy smile, and floppy arms and legs. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next crafty video.